Well, so you think you are awakening, but what if you are actually collapsing? What if your peace is just numbness, your detachment, a disguise for disconnection? Well, that's how it begins. You meditate, you read, you feel light for a while, and then slowly life starts slipping away, burning away. Your business crumbles, your relationships fade, you stop feeling anything at all, you become very numb and call it spirituality. By the way, I've lived through that hell. Thank you. I was waking up at 3 a.m., chest light, mind racing, pretending I'm ascending while everything I built was burning down. I thought I was transcending the world. Turns out I was running from it, I was just sprinting away from it. But the same thing that broke me also rebuilt me. And in this video, I'll show you how I pulled myself and hundreds of others out of that darkness, rebuilt my business, healed my relationships, and finally understood what real awakening actually means. So, if your world feels like it's falling apart in the name of spirituality, watch till the end. This might be the one truth that saves you, because that was me. And this is my story. So, I got into this spiritual rabbit hole whilst surfing the internet, and I started reading everything online, everything and anything, in any shape or form. I joined Facebook groups, I spoke with awakened people online, and who had these anonymous names, and I had conversations with them, and I learned many things about awakening, the process of awakening. The journey at start, I'll be very honest, felt very magical. Since I have close links to India, I started visiting spiritual hubs. Like there are places in India, northern part of India, like Banaras, Rishikesh, Haridwar. These are like the hubs of, these are the throbbing hearts of spirituality when it comes to the core of it. Things were going pretty well. I was meditating regularly. I had this overthinking mind. That is why I came into spirituality, which used to be my curse. I started creating ideal pictures of, what things would look like and what things were that happened in the past, and I used to rethink everything like a movie playing inside my head, and that consumed my day and it kept me in a dark place. So I started meditation. Soon meditation started feeling pretty easy. It felt very easy, natural. I was turning into this always positive guy. But stage 2 is where the downfall actually began. This is where the downfall began, and everything started actually going downhill. It was like shit went down. I began waking up at 3 a.m. every night. My body started aching, my heart was racing. I tried convincing others about how beautiful the spiritual path is, how holy this is, how beautiful this is. And when they disagreed, I argued. I needed them to see what I was seeing. But my meditation sessions, once peaceful, became very long, heavy, and empty. Being honest, within 2 weeks, my mental and physical state started deteriorating very fast. I became very irritable. I snapped easily at people. Colors, sound, taste, everything started fading, which once felt very heightened. My consciousness felt very heightened. All these senses felt very heightened. Everything started fading away. I went to therapists, psychiatrists. I tried all sorts of medications, everything under the umbrella. Little did I know, this small mosquito wanker is trying to deviate us from what we are trying to achieve, but we let it be. So, little did I know I was going through the dark night of the soul. And this is where all this collapse and confusion started pooling in. It's that phase where you dive too deep into spirituality and start ignoring life itself. Happiness begins to feel fake. You question the meaning of everything. Being very honest, I slipped into nihilism, the belief that nothing really matters. My pain spilled onto my father and girlfriend, and I was drowning. It also went to my mother sometimes. My business, something I once loved, became a nightmare. Everything felt meaningless. My revenue started dropping. I was not able to pay my team members, and until one day I found something that changed everything. And this was very important, a very important turning point in my life. This was like the hidden solution to everything. And the solution, being very honest, was hiding in plain sight. It was like camouflage in front of me. And it wasn't another spiritual hack. It was something which, made me wonder, how ignorant can I actually be? So, before proceeding to the solution, if any of this did relate to you, do drop a like on this video. if this all these situations related to you in some way, shape, or form. The hack was not a spiritual hack. It was this stoic balance which I figured out. You may want to jot this down somewhere, or write this down someplace. I started studying Stoicism and learned that suffering wasn't the enemy, it was the teacher, the actual guru. I combined it with the philosophy of absurdism. If life has no meaning, then we get to create our own. If the canvas that we think is blank, and when we say that if the canvas is blank, why bother? But there was this feeling that if the canvas is black, I realized I can pick the paintbrush and paint my own freaking world. Holy shit. This was the most beautiful eureka moment, aha moment I had ever had. I stopped running from pain and started rebuilding through it. This balance became my key. This balance of two extremes became my key. And this is where the integration phase started kicking in. I started rebuilding myself. I started balancing both my spiritual and my material world. Just as Buddha once said, walk the middle path. You don't need to go on both the extremes, be too ascetic that you forget the worldly world, or become too materialistic that you forget your spiritual or your inner world. You need to have a balance between the two. It's kind of this work-life balance. So I started walking this middle path. My relationships healed. These were the actual results. My relationships started healing. My meditation became peaceful again. But this time I didn't force it. Before this, I used to force my meditation sessions, thinking if I could meditate peacefully, I would be able to get out of this loop and break this loop somewhere in some day or the other. Whenever I used to wake up, it felt like my brain was empty, my mind was empty, and yesterday's issues were poured into this empty vessel that I had, and everything started looping again. Even on days without meditation, I felt grounded and joyful. This is after I found out that balance. My business obviously started flourishing again. I reconnected with the world without losing awareness. So what was my lesson, my reflection? Basically, balance was the bridge between collapse and clarity. And if you are in that dark phase, confused and numb, my friend, just remember this. Brother, sister, just remember this. Your answers are not in another awakening video. They are in the real world right in front of you. Right now, when you are seeing my video, I'm talking to you. You just haven't seen them yet. The answers are hidden in plain sight. They have camouflaged. You just need to find and plug them and eat your apple. If this story felt similar or familiar, tell me your story below in the comment section down below. I read every comment personally. Let's help each other out of this mess and normalize a balanced spiritual journey. Not an extreme one, a balanced one. And if you need someone to walk you through this process step by step, you can book a private call with me. The link's in the description as well. Remember, the longer you wait, the deeper the darkness grows. Take action and snap back to reality, because your awakening is meant to make you alive again, not empty. And if you're really very serious in changing this dark phase using a structured method, including solid frameworks and method, you can check this video where I exactly tell you how I helped Matthew come out of his miseries in a matter of days. So go, click on it. Come on, go on.